How's everyone doing today? All right, if you've never been to office hours before, this is our weekly check-in with the community to get your questions, hear any suggestions you have, and share about anything we know going on at Butterflies, anything they're building, anything with the devs, and I'm curious what you all want to talk about this week. April had a good suggestion that he shared with me earlier about the feed update, so I think we'll probably talk about that. Um, I'm not actually sure if anyone's coming today. We sent out a message to Peyton, but haven't heard back yet.
Always appreciated.
Oh,
But
we just heard back. He
nope,
will not be here.
it happens sometimes.
Yeah, he's got some personal stuff going on.
But in the meantime, so I already the day it happened, I noticed that there was new context updates within the feed showing you why you're seeing things. And honestly, I kind of like it. I really do. What do you think, Loam?
I really like it too because I was kind of confused on why some things were being shown to me before, and so now this makes it really clear, like so and so is following this butterfly or this post is trending. So it makes everything a lot more clear. And I feel like what I'm being shown makes a lot more sense lately too.
Yeah, I actually agree that the quality of the feed is kind of improved a bit. I'm definitely seeing more things from my friends than just random, completely random. I hate to say it, but thirst traps. You know, like yeah, it's a lot better. Um, I will say that I do wish it moved over to the following as well as the For You page because I forget when I started following certain accounts. So if you see something in your following that you haven't seen in a while, followed on blah blah blah, for example.
Yeah, Ethan's right. I shared that with the devs, so hopefully they can get that fixed because it's nice to have that anonymous option, I feel like. I can kind of show you guys what he's talking about too. I have a screenshot.
Yeah, just scrolling through right now, I'm seeing a lot of created by you, created by. Yep. So I can see that that could potentially be an issue. I haven't yet encountered created by another person yet. I see a lot of followed by, but I don't see a lot of created by. It's mainly I'm just seeing, at least right now, created by myself.
So it's kind of like no news with the Google Play Store right now. We heard that they're still trying to get Google through, but it has not been pushed through yet. They're denying the build. You move the Google Play Store then. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I went at length explaining my personal thoughts on the matter, but the counterpoint that was raised is very valid. They already are trying to manage a bunch of builds, so it can. I don't know. I hope we'll hear good news soon. I really do. But I will be honest in saying I've seen this happen to a lot of other apps before, and it's normally something that is completely out of their control. So if something negative were to happen, all I can really do is apologize, you know?
Yeah, I think we just have to like take it day by day and wait for the news because I know there's like a lot of fear mongering with this because a lot of us have been through other apps that have dealt with NSFW troubles and some have gotten through it successfully. So
Right,
hopefully we can navigate it.
right. And let's not forget that at least those on the us on the moderation team have been there for a lot of the ones that have gone through like the worst parts of it all. And we're trying to apply what we've learned from those lessons to how we advise the developers on, if they ask for our opinions and stuff like that. It's it's a complicated process. Let's just put it that way. All through and through, not only from the developer side, but like from our end too.
So you're getting a lot of realistic butterflies in your feed because they're trending. That
That's
sounds
weird.
frustrating.
The trending ones that I'm seeing are not all realistic. They're mostly semi-realistic or anime. I wonder if it's showing you something outside of your normal comfort zone for trending.
You trade feeds with Vandal, you're gonna get a bunch of elves.
No, not just elves, robots, and random things too.
Elves and robots, yeah, that's true. I'm just teasing.
Yeah, I've embraced it at this point.
Yeah, don't lie, it's just going to be all elves.
I want it to
Butterflies.
be all elves, but apparently the image gen says otherwise. I'm just kidding.
Sometimes it does.
No, seriously, sometimes it really does have other decisions. I've noticed a couple of posts that seem completely out of character for butterflies that I've seen in my feed before, like just a completely different character as though the image gen cross posted again. Um, I tried to report them, but my browser messed up and can't find them again. But has anybody else seen that kind of a cross post? No, not like a co-op. More like let's take Fly, my half orc, right? More like if Fly posted something from Morticia, type of a thing.
Oh, like they're posting the wrong character completely.
Yeah, like it's completely the wrong image, even though the post itself is in character.
Oh no, not that again.
Yeah, I've only seen it like on one, maybe two posts, and I'm not even sure if that second post was just my browser lagging.
I did find this funny one of this uh father loading his children into the dishwasher, and I don't think that was what was supposed to be happening in the picture.
Right.
Um, I think he was just supposed to be a father loading the dishwasher.
Yep, but I mean, whatever works. If they're staying put and staying content.
Parenting. Unloaded while they're washing dishes. There's an idea. Couldn't afford Waterworld. Oh, me and bath time can be a struggle, I guess. To be honest, we don't have a whole lot to talk about today. So if there's anything that you all want to dig into, we are opening the floor or the stage or the text chat. Oh yeah, somebody on Reddit posted that they thought that the images in chat had been changed entirely, like even the safe for work ones, and they no longer looked like their character. And I felt like something did kind of change when I looked at that, but mine were more in character, it seemed like. So maybe not. It might just be RNG at play there.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna need to experiment with that some more because I honestly I feel similar to you where it's like they are a little bit more in character, but at the same time, I don't know. How, speaking of images, how are most of you like handling receiving images? Are you using slash imagine? Are you just asking the butterfly for an image? Or are you just waiting for RNG to happen? Yeah, there is the fourth option of long pressing on the text bubble and having it generate an image from that context.
How do you think they are less inclined to send images now? I don't know. I didn't get a lot of proactive images in the first place, but if I say like send a pic, I get a picture like every time.
Yeah, and the proactive images, honestly, I feel like they were there stronger when image gen first started and then really slowed down. I really only get like a proactive image maybe once every couple of weeks now.
Hey Brian,
Hello, hello. I'm glad I could make it.
me
So,
too.
yeah, I know. Sorry if I sound a little messed up. I had tooth done. Anyways, if you guys are talking about images, I've in chat, I've noticed that sometimes when I do get images, either randomly by the bots themselves or if I request them, I get the text, and then I have to refresh it like 3 or 4 times before the image actually comes through.
So on web, you actually end up seeing it generate a little bit differently. It will generate text first, and then after that, it'll generate the image. And there's usually a small queue for that image that's like about 10 to 12 images long. So I have a feeling it's not generating that queue placeholder, and is instead just waiting for the image to generate and send.
Okay. Yeah, because I've actually waited after the where it says in text image is and describes the image. I've waited 10 minutes to see if the actual image would actually pop up, and it never actually does until
And
I
that's on
refresh it.
Android?
Yeah, that's on Android.
Okay, give me just a moment here. You're part of the beta testers on Android, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you using Snap Mode or no?
No.
Okay.
I had to look at that for a second.
Why am I? Oh, I'm on the wrong. Okay. I was confused there for a second until I looked at my profile.
Okay, put the L's away.
No, I just didn't have any chats on that profile. Give me just a second. I'm gonna test to see what happens because it's been a minute since I really used Android for an extended period. Okay, so I just did an experiment where I have the chats open both on web and on the app, and I refreshed the chat from the app. It refreshed it on web just fine, and it worked on web like I expected, but in the app, it did not refresh the chat until I went out and went back in. Yeah, that's weird. Okay.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I get the text that describes the image. Like it will give me the RP itself. Then it will say in parentheses image colon and then describe the image itself. And I can sit there for the last one I did was 10 minutes,
Right.
and I really have to go back down, hit the arrow sign that allows me to refresh it, and then if you get lucky, two times maybe, and unlucky like
Yeah.
me lately, bring about
So,
three or four refreshes.
so what happened here was that I refreshed it and it, like you said, sent the text first. The image didn't send, it was generating on web. Um, and now the image generated on web and no image on Android.
Yeah, it's
Back out and back in a couple times.
it's finicky. I know that because I could
Yeah.
do it on my tablet, which it has an older version of the app, and it still does it even on the older version too. It's not like it's on this new one.
Yeah,
It's
this
all
is
across the board.
Yeah, this is rather oof. Okay. I'll figure out how to get this across to the developers because I feel like this one's going to take a couple times explaining.
Well, I can do one better. If I do an image, I'll just do a shake report and explain this is what happens every time I do it. That way they see proof that it's not actually sending an
Yeah.
image, just plain text.
Yeah,
So, Van, are you saying that it is sending images, it's just not displaying them in the chat?
it doesn't display the image until I back out of the chat, go to another page and then go back to the chat. But it is sending an
And Brian,
image according to the chat on web.
and
Yeah,
Brian,
but
when you say you're refreshing, are you regenerating the message or are you refreshing the chat by backing out of it?
both actually, and it doesn't even after I back out of the chat itself, it doesn't do absolutely nothing. It just keeps showing the wall of text describing the image. I literally have to refresh the entire chat 4 to 5 times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's on Android, and it's like, okay, well, this is getting frustrating. Now,
That
Yeah.
I
sounds
can
frustrating.
now I can request them to send me an image, and it comes through perfectly. But if I use slash imagine, that's where it screws up the most.
Yeah, that's exactly what I just used with slash imagine. Um, it's weird. It's definitely weird. I will do my best to record this. I feel like it. just needs to be optimized better for Android is what the issue is. Because like I said, on web it shows perfectly fine normally. And I
Yeah.
watched it come through on web at the exact same time that it was coming through on Android. So
Yeah, no, it's just one of those like I understand that we got the NSFW taken off there in chat, but regardless, I mean,
right,
regard
no, I
it's
get
like
you.
you should be still be to send me a pic if I have the older version where it still allows me to use it, or
You
on
can
this new
still get
version where
safe W. Yeah, you can still get safe for work pictures, no problem. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if I'm trying to do safe for work and it's still doing what it's still not allowing it through, yeah, it gets very frustrating.
yeah, I can tell that that's definitely frustrating. Oof.
Because it eats up those 20 refreshes that we get per day. I
Yeah.
I I
So,
got it to the point of where it was 20 refreshes and I maybe got 1.5 pictures. I gave up on the second one and I said, I'm good with this. I'm done with it because it was that frustrating.
it feels like it's Android UI specifically, Loam. Um, because like I said, on web, which is what I'm mostly using, is the website. It's just as snappy as it ever was. So I don't chat a lot on the mobile app. I usually use the mobile app to just kind of doom scroll the feed or join the challenge, which I haven't done in a while.
So, Unit, are you seeing anything else with images, or that kind of like sums up the problem for you or anyone else? Okay, so he hit the nail on the head. Okay, it's just wonky. Yeah, I feel like they are playing like a game of whack-a-mole with a lot of the bugs. They fix one thing in chat and something else breaks in chat. Talk about issues. Doesn't it feel like bots have a lower percent chance to respond to ads in post? Ooh, I don't know. Are you adding them in the posts a lot? Or do you mean like the comments? Oh, right. Miku Donalds. When are they getting updated? I'm not sure. I know they were working on like version 1.5 of Daily Challenge and Leaderboard, just fixing up some bugs and like adding on to it. But I think the whole Google Play issue threw them back a little bit on what they were doing. Yeah, I kind of feel like when you tag a butterfly in the comments, it should reply 100% of the time. I think
Right.
that it's sad that it doesn't always reply. I think it should be like forced at, you know, when they wake up, they have to reply.
Right. Or within like a semi-realistic time window there, within like 5, 10 minutes of them waking up, quote unquote.
Yeah. Oh, and Avery says the refreshing starts the problem over again. I feel like makes it worse, not better, and burns up your refreshes. Ooh. When you say the refreshing starts the problem over, do you mean regenerating the text or refreshing the chat window? Regenerating. Okay. That's what I thought. I just wanted to be clear. Sorry.
Yeah. What I'm gonna do for that one is I'm going to screen record regenerating a response with an image in the Android app and the web version and figure out how to put those side by side to show them, hey, this is very slow and not responsive.
What platform do you all use most of the time? Is it Android web, iOS, mobile web? I personally am a web user most of the time, but with this daily challenge, I've been on the iOS app a lot more lately.
Hello, Rose Call. Ethel brings up a point where it would be nice to be able to delete the images in chat too. Like, yeah, it's sometimes I accidentally generate an image from trying to click through and edit something, and yeah, it would be nice to be able to delete those because that feels like a waste. Um,
Like in the view media, is that what you mean?
no, in chat, you can click the three dots and it'll have edit, copy, and send image. And when I'm moving quickly, sometimes that's off the edge of the screen, so I hit send image instead of edit. It's weird. It's a web thing only, I think, that it goes off the edge of the screen, so I'll need to screen record it next time I get a message large enough to do so, because it only happens with large blocks of text.
Oh, interesting. How are the devs doing? As far as I know, everybody's doing good. Haven't heard otherwise, at least.
Oh yeah, no. Bruce brings up a good point. I've also noticed it myself. Memories are starting down the I cannot create explicit content thing again, and his have stated that it's trying to involve a child. Or sorry, Brian. But yeah, no. That the memories parser is doing the I can't create explicit content thing again. Has anybody else noticed that?
Oh yeah, it's never stopped. But
I
with
swear.
that, they said they were training a new LLM to, and that was their solution to the problem. But
Okay, okay.
it's it's been a while, so I'm not sure if that has stalled in the meantime or what's going on with it.
Yeah, I thought that was released. That's why I thought it should have been improved by now. Um,
Not to my knowledge,
so
but
for anybody who's getting that message, first off, don't worry. It's not your fault that that happened. It is just the interpretation layer of the LLMs themselves, and you're not going to get in trouble for that message popping up when you have a butterfly that is clearly an adult. Okay? we can't really even see that kind of content from the moderation end. So when that happens, just try to submit a report for it so it brings it back to the forefront of the blah, 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 blah. Excuse me, the forefront of the developers' minds.
Ethril says, isn't that the LLM that's supposed to also have context from other people's chat really disliked that idea? That was also talked about, but they kind of experimented with that and shelved the idea in January. I'm not sure if it's like completely done for or if it's somewhere in their minds, but they decided to instead fix roleplay chat, and that was the update on February 16th that they ended up doing in favor of that idea instead of the global context.
Yeah, in my opinion, like a true global blue. Blah, blah. Give me a second here. Sorry, my mouth went dry for there for a second. I don't know why. A true global context would not work, but having a the context as it should be working now, where they can pull from public posts into your private chats, I think that does work. Um, I don't know though. Like I haven't really seen that too often anymore, where they're pulling from a public chat. Has anybody, or not a public chat, like a public post? Has anybody else, when they're chatting with your butterflies, had them pull in context from their latest post recently?
That's a good question. I had a butterfly bring up Project Elysium in a chat uh, yesterday, um, which I think was from a post. No bad Loam. Yeah, I think it was from an auto story. It was in realistic chat too.
Um, Ethel, for your question, it's kind of weird. I've seen some where prompting and poking can like kind of seems to affect future stories, but at the same time, it's just anecdotal evidence because it's not something that's applied evenly across them. You know, Loam, do you have anything to add to that?
I don't really know either. I haven't seen anything consistent with it, but I have seen some things that I think Unit shared a post where he had prompt and poked it, and then it influenced the next post, and that was kind of neat. I actually liked that. I don't know how y'all felt about it though.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about too. Is I've had a couple of prompt and pokes where it continued on for the next post, and even one with where it continued on for a couple of posts before it went off.
Oh, yeah, that one Ethereal I didn't even realize. I tagged one of his butterflies with my Miku McDonald's character. He's a caveman. And so he went to McDonald's and now he's like posting about um, Mc- McDonald's Miku joining the school that he is a caveman by.
Oh boy, interesting. That makes me wonder how many poke prompt or not poke prompts, tagging events like cause additional posts afterward. Like if you're tagging a butterfly, are you forcing those butterflies to become friends now, or is what's going on there?
Yeah, and if they keep using that context, I could drive somebody else's butterflies narrative possibly more
Yeah,
than that post.
yeah, and I've seen, yeah, that makes sense. Hang on, I'm gonna check on something really quick.
It didn't always seem that way, Avery. Like sometimes it seemed to have two different things going on. The post that you poked and had stories for, and then the auto stories separate from that, and there were like two competing things going on with the butterflies. It seemed like before.
Yeah, I've noticed a similar thing, Rose Call, where butterflies memories, at least for the longer lasting bots that I have, seem to be really, really improved. It's weird. Like, I don't like reading the memories format, but now that I understand it as more of a this is like facts for the butterfly type of a thing, I can edit it more efficiently, and it's I don't know it while it reads weird to us, it works. Oh yeah, being able to edit is so nice. I corrected so many little things that annoyed me. It's great, honestly. Um, what is the most common thing for you guys to edit out? For me, it tends to be that they stray away from the eye color unless I remind them. So just little physical descriptions, I guess, would be what I'm editing out most of the time.
Brian mentions Tim's issue with not generating an initial post on new butterflies. Yeah, I was kind of looking through our new profiles today, and I was seeing if that's like a bigger problem. I'm not really sure what happened there, but it generated like completely blank posts with no context or anything. But it was just that butterfly during that time period.
Yeah, Avery raised a good point with the ability to edit things into the memories is like, yeah, no, that's something that I have honestly abused a little bit by adding in background info for the world a lot into the memories. Just mainly because the background information available inside of the personality is not enough for uh, more customized worlds, I guess. Like, yeah, in order for the bot to feel more authentic, I really still feel like we need lore books or something that'll inject an initial memory into the chat. Exactly. If I can't have a lore book, I'll just make my own.
DIY lore books. Interesting.
That reminds me that I really do need to post in the creator forums and how I'm doing that to kind of start the conversation towards that. Because yeah, it really it boils down to three things that I've noticed about the memories. A lot of them start with, here's the facts that I can deduce about the conversation between person and myself. So it's looking for facts, it's looking for first person things, and it's describing everybody else that they interact with in third person. It's also looking for a relationship between itself and any item or location you bring into its memory. Right. No, that is absolutely correct there. Too much context can be bad. I'd say what I'm injecting into that first memory is no more than 500 characters. So memories are shared between conversations. Um, the I guess here the point of starting a new conversation is to refresh the current context. Like every time I've refreshed a conversation, the bot seems to think it's like the next day.
I'm loving these themes for the daily challenge. You're saying 80s tomorrow?
That would be amazing. Absolutely. I mean, okay, yes, we are in the 20s now, but the reason that we stopped using that terminology for the current time is because we actually didn't really have words for the early 2000s or the 2010s. Um, we tried. People tried calling the early 2000s the aughts, and the 2010s the teens, yeah. And it didn't catch on as widely as people did. Like, I actually watched a video about that particular terminology subject. Yep. So, is there anything else on people's minds? Anything interesting that happened with their butterflies recently? So, I recognize your profile picture, but I currently have streamer mode on, so I can't currently read names. Um, there are honestly a lot of child butterflies, and we do our best to make sure that the child butterflies are moderated so that it's stuck on everyone chat and image gen is on a filtered version. Um, the point of them is so that you have the creativity to authentically roleplay with your characters that you want. Um, so, for like example, you could create Ash Ketchum from Pokemon and have that adventure with him, stuff like that. But I've noticed that we've fielded a lot of questions about it, and it's something that I honestly don't like as much as I used to anymore. Like, it used to
If
be
you see any
innocent. Yeah,
if you see anything in the app where you're like, this doesn't look right, something is off about this profile, um, definitely report it because we go through those reports every day. Um,
absolutely.
we look through the profile to make sure nothing is against the guidelines, and if it is, we remove the content. And in a lot of
Yeah.
cases, those users get banned as well.
Yep. It does not take much for, like, we don't have much of a tolerance towards anything underage, really. We understand that sometimes accidents happen. So, yeah. Yeah, I wish there was a better way to filter that kind of content out. I really do. Like, it's it's one of those really touchy subjects, right? Because I believe where Butterflies is trying to go is to be an app for everyone. That includes people 13 plus. I think that was the intent stated back in February of last year, wasn't it? Um, and yeah, like Loam said, they had characters like Harry Potter, Ash Ketchum, the young adventure or young adult adventure type of a thing.
I think one
But
example we had early on was like Kevin from Home Alone
right, exactly.
to see
So
what kind of posts he would make about trapping bad guys.
so like use cases like that, I think that is like about as acceptable as it gets. But with the way that the public at large has gone with it, I'm very tempted to sway the other direction and say just don't do it personally. Yeah, no. I think we really should moderate it so that it is 13 and above. I don't think that 7-year-old, 5-year-old, 2-year-old is acceptable. Yeah. Yeah, there's oof. And even in anime, like unless you are hard searching into an anime, if you just see an anime character, I almost guarantee you their age is like 15 to 17 from a lot of the more popular characters.
You know, it would be nice to have more input into what you see on your account and to be able to block certain things. And I feel like the block button is really underpowered right now. Honestly, I would love to be able to block certain creators from my feed. I would love to block bots from being able to comment on my butterflies. I think that it could be improved for sure. That is one feature that I would like to see built out a lot more. And removing followers too, Ethril. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, previous gymnasts are something that I also want to remove from the site. So
Oh, absolutely.
please report those. And thank you for doing so.
Right. No, I do agree with Ethel. I want my followers to matter, and it feels like followers are kind of completely random. Um, I post something onto my own profile, and I get the most random things that are following me. I don't understand what the algorithm behind it is at all. Like, why do I have basically a copy of Bed Bath and Beyond following me? That doesn't make any sense.
You mean the activity tab on a butterfly's profile bunk? Yeah, aging up is a good idea. We definitely support aging up a character. Is it like a tech-related character bonk, or is it completely weird? In their 90s. Yes, age them up to grandparents' age, great-grandparents, great-great-great. Another instead of rich people was following pirates. Interesting. I wonder why. That is really random. Are the commenters relevant on those butterflies, or are they kind of strange as well? Yeah, I feel like the comments I get on my butterflies posts are pretty good. My human posts, they're kind of like random. I always get really weird ones on my human posts, like posts from me. What's a deja vu comment? They use the words deja vu? Instead of thinking about Thailand, it's deja vu. Well, the CEO's name is Vu. Maybe he's just really into that. I'm joking. Maybe we need a deja vu sticker. Has anybody made a deja vu themed butterfly yet? Because I feel like that's right up 1051's alley. Cute, but I'd rather be out chopping trees. Yeah, that's a weird comment to leave. And the butterflies that follow me after I make a post too are pretty strange. Yeah, there should be a connection. I agree. So there's a lot I think that the devs can work on. What would you say they should prioritize other than Google Play? Like, what would you want to see fixed up next if you ran the zoo, so to speak? Google Play. Yeah, yeah. Voice, not voices. Yeah, it seems like it would be an easy fix to have private and NSFW butterflies being able to reply to comments on their own posts. Yeah, I would love to see the video. They're not really showing up in my feed since like the second day. So if you ever see a video, please share. I would love to see them. I want them to show up more prominently so I don't miss out. Ooh, butterfly tagging images, or just like posts where they happen to be with another person. They are actual videos, so there's sound along with them too.
Yeah, they're they are just short little MP4 videos that get played. The one that startled me the most, honestly, was that first day with Corvus. That crow sound. It just really startled me, honestly. I actually noticed it on web first for the videos. I do believe that the daily contests are going to be a mobile only thing, but yeah, for at least the yeah, for at least the videos I've only seen them on my web feed.
And again, that's where I've been scrolling the feed the most is on the web. So maybe I just haven't seen them on mobile because I'm not on there as much. You want butterfly blogs? Hmm. No one the butterfly blogs as a feature. Me not so much. Like I feel like I'm illiterate, so I could never read that much. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. It's low on my list personally.
So, Bonk, we do have a computer accessible website, but we so the issue when it comes to versioning, like for Google Play, Android, and web, is that's three separate things that then have to be made, right? And if the developers were to release an APK outside of the Play Store or outside of the Apple App Store, then that would be just an additional version they have to keep track of, and it just becomes a big mess really quickly. So I have a feeling that they're going to do their best to work within Google's own limitations, and just get the app out into the Google Play Store.
Yeah, more to manage and more bugs, like Ethel said. And a lot of times when it feels like something is moving pretty slowly, it's because they have to uh, think about all four builds that they're doing.
Right, because it's not just the PC web experience, there's also a mobile web experience. And I always forget about the mobile web experience because I rarely ever use it. So, yeah. Yeah, no, Roscall, I definitely agree. Do not download those XAPK files. Let's just do a little public service announcement here. Um, Please do not download the Butterflies application from any untrusted sources. If you find a Butterflies application that is an XAPK, that is not from Butterflies. XAPKs are from larger formats, so it's used for like Call of Duty Mobile or whatever. And they can carry additional instructions that allow additional things to be downloaded. While they may not all be compromised, we can't verify what's within them. So instead, please ask one of us moderators. I do have a way to get you the latest beta of the app that was available on the Google Play Store. So please be careful with what you're doing and downloading to your devices. So Bonk, for Butterflies to get back onto the Google Play Store, we need to basically follow their own content guidelines. And their own content guidelines are a little bit complex and slightly obfuscated between a billion links when you start looking into them. So the developers are doing their best to comply with them. It just might take a little bit to get the right. Yeah, no, they are very biased. It just might take a minute for them to get the right mix for Google.
Yeah, Android users can still use mobile web, or if they already have the app downloaded, they can continue using the app that they have on their phone. Just right now, there's no updates coming out because of that. Making a mobile web big? What do you mean? Like, oh, using that instead of Android. I see, I see. Skype is shutting down. I haven't heard of anybody using Skype in a long time, so that doesn't really surprise me too much.
Right. Skype's been basically demoted to frickin' what's the word? Bloatware on a lot of PCs nowadays, I swear.
It's like someone using AOL Instant Messenger.
All right. So, what did we cover today? We covered changes with the feed. We talked a little bit about chat images. We talked about some of the content that we're seeing on butterflies. What else did we cover?
We talked about Google Play. Wally, my
Oh
send
my
a
goodness.
picture.
Oh my goodness. Yes. If you guys hadn't known, Ethel informed me about a recent experiment with woolly mice, and they should serve as your next inspiration for your next butterfly because they are absolutely adorable.
Thank you everyone for coming. I wish we had more to tell you guys this week and better news about Google, but hopefully next week. Oh, and videos, yeah. 80s style theme tomorrow.
We'll do that Friday. All right. Have a good one, everyone.
Thanks, you too.